know where the treats at.
Is this the passing of the torch, right? Is this what this signifies?
It comes down to that front office and what they feel is most important.
The champ is here. We've touched down from a higher plane. Why you made it here?
We always look forward to that week because it was always intense.
You know that we ain't coming back. We got you.
The man, the myth, the legend, Dante Hall. My favorite player growing up was Dante Hall. I love you guys in the show, but Dante was my guy.
Get to dashing because you done on the warfare.
This episode of Chief Concerns is brought to you by betonline.ag and Underdog Fantasy. BetOnline continues to be the world's most trusted betting platform and your number one source for online betting in 2025. Whether you're a seasoned fan or a first-time bettor, BetOnline is your ultimate game day companion. With the largest selection of odds on everything from football, the NBA, college basketball, to NHL and UFC, BetOnline is the number one sports betting source for the new year. From touchdowns to three-pointers and hat tricks, BetOnline has you covered on every game, every play, and every win. BetOnline, the game starts here. Want to make some quick cash and have fun during the NFL playoffs? Well, it's time to embrace your inner underdog. Over the last 3 weeks, we have given 11 selections, and we have cashed on 10 of those, predicting higher or lower on multiple different player statistics. So we are ready to continue this heater into the playoffs. So if you have yet to download the Underdog app, do so now and get free cash. Click the link in the description or use promo code CHIEFCONCERNS, one word, to claim your free pick plus first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus cash. It's NFL playoff season, so let's continue to keep the good vibes in 2025.
Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Chief Concerns family? How y'all doing tonight? This is your host, Jason Dunn, your guy that comes in from a long-time Chiefs fan, Chiefs player, coming in giving an introduction. My guy, our guy, Marcus Dash, is actually sick tonight, so we had to make a little impromptu thing because of his little sickness. So he's a little under the weather. So y'all want to send him a little bit of maybe some chicken noodle soup, or maybe some of that good stuff that y'all may be cooking. Please do, man. He could appreciate it. And so he can hear you. I know Marcus is right now dealing with the flu is actually what he's dealing with. So Marcus, man, I hope you get better. I know you back there, kind of listening, making sure that everything is all right, man. Didn't want to get out here working tonight. People have been asking, like, man, what is going on with Marcus? He just seemed like he's different every time. But this is the case. This is the reason. So Marcus, please get better, brother. I know everybody's sitting there saying that. So, you just had to excuse our a little bit of tardiness. You know how we come in anyway. We come in and probably give you about 10 or 15 minutes to let the chat get a little lively and everybody just get out of here and, kind of talking a little bit. But we're going to have a good segment tonight, actually. We're going to have a really good segment to talk about these Chiefs, these Bills coming up this weekend on Sunday. But here, now look, y'all have seen there's somebody else on the screen that's with me, okay, that this right here, okay, is one of my brothers. Okay, we played football together down at EKU.
Yes, sir.
This guy right here was probably one of the best running backs I've ever had to block for. I think at the time, man, I was playing defense though, Marcus, wasn't I?
You were defensive end, man.
I was a defensive end.
You hadn't made that transition yet.
I haven't. And you know what, Marcus? Sometimes people are like, man, JD, you don't play no defensive end. But here it is, right here, confirmation. My brother's telling me right now, hey,
yes, sir.
JD did play some defensive end in college.
He was setting the edge.
Yes, sir. That's what I was doing. So I was roughhousing back then, man. But this guy right here was hard to put your hands on. One of the most talented running backs in EKU history, probably in the entire OVC, probably 1AA running backs out there. My man, my brother, who played for the Philadelphia Eagles also. Okay,
yes, sir.
We'll go back to it. So you see the Philadelphia on there. Now, there's a reason he has Philadelphia Eagles fan a shirt on. Okay, because he played with the Philadelphia Eagles. And then, Marcus, what I'll do, I'll let you kind of introduce yourself a little bit more if you want to. He's got a great show. If you haven't checked it out, listen, you don't have to be an Eagles fan to go check out the show. He does a great job just with analysis of football, talking about life, but he's hardcore, straight to the point. I love it. My brother, Marcus Thomas, my guy, number 40 back in the day.
Yes, sir.
used to glaze all the fields up, man. He used to just make you miss in a phone booth. My brother, Marcus Thomas. How you doing, brother? How's it
I'm
going?
doing well, man. I appreciate the call tonight, man. Sometimes it's impromptu. Sometimes it's got to be next man up. So you had one Marcus down, so another Marcus had to step up.
There you
You
go.
know, that's how we do. That's how we do. I do
Right.
have my own channel, Pro Fan Talk, as you see on the big screen in the back. Giving out NFL, mostly Eagles content, but I do talk about all the NFL teams, man. You know, we all related. We all know somebody on almost every team. We all got some type of connection with all these teams, man. And I tell everybody, man, I will keep it 100 with you as long as you keep the toxic on the bench. Man, we can talk ball about anything, man. So it is all good. I'm ready to go. We are in the Final Four.
Yeah, that's right.
All this Eagles fans up here, you know, right off 95 in Philadelphia, we ready to go. Jalen Hurts, we a little bit concerned about him with the knee, but I think he'll be ready to go, man. And we, as long as we keep doing what we've been doing, I don't see us having a problem, bro.
Yeah, me either, man. Look, Jalen Hurts is a tough cookie. Okay, no question about it. He's going to play for sure. Is it going to be 100%? Well, look, Marcus, we all said this. Look, as football players, we understand nobody's really 100% at this day, this time in the season. If you're in playoffs, everybody's nicked up. Everybody's dealing with something. So it doesn't matter what position you play, who you are dealing with some type of injuries. You know, it might not be on an injury report. Coaches know, players know. What you do is you just push through it. That's just part of it, right?
Absolutely. Didn't Patrick Mahomes whoop ass last year with a bum ankle in the Super Bowl?
Sure did. I think he did, Marcus. Matter of fact, they were going to say
you got all off season to heal up. All off season. So I am quite positive and I'm quite confident Jalen Hurts is going to do what he got to do. They will probably shoot that knee up with God knows what, like they always do. And he gonna get out there and he gonna handle business like he knows how to handle business, man. And hopefully we gonna see a rematch.
Right. Well, I tell you what, and people were kind of talking to me about it, man. I had a huge Super Bowl party, a couple of years ago when the Chiefs and the Eagles played, and I had the WKYT 27 News came up to my house to come and see what it was going to look like for a former player of the Eagles and Chiefs. Yeah. How was the house going to happen, right? And it was somewhat of a house divided, if you will. It was somewhat of a house divided. My brother, who lived with me up there in Jersey, stayed up there all this time. He just decided to move back down home in Kentucky about a couple of years ago. Still, huge Eagles fan. Listen, and look, I tell people this all the time. When you look at my bio, I say former tight end with the Philadelphia Eagles and Kansas City Chiefs. I have nothing but love for the Philadelphia Eagles. I don't.
Yeah.
Because this is where I cut my teeth. That's the one that drafted me. Those are the guys that gave me a shot and a chance to put their money on JD, right? And so for me, man, look, there's no love lost whatsoever. I love these guys. I love Philadelphia Eagles, man. That is my squad as much, with the Chiefs, though. The Chiefs, hey, man, look, I look at this. For Chiefs, 8 years doing my life here, hey, man, this is my family. So, but Philadelphia Eagles is my family too. That's just how it is, right? You go to places, sometimes that's just what it is. So I don't really I'm not disloyal to the Eagles, if you will, but my loyalty, if we're doing a segment as far as like where that lies, Kansas City Chiefs is right up here, right? And
you talking about 8-4, bro.
Yeah.
You had good years, and that stuff matters, man. I will tell anybody in a minute, just to use the same reference, man.
Yeah.
Because every now and then I'll kick out a who they because people forget I'm from Cincinnati. So I'm gonna always have love for my Bengals, man. When people watching the telecast and everybody got slander for Chris Collinsworth, I'm like, hey man, don't bring that my way. I grew up watching Chris Collinsworth, man, so I ain't got nothing but love for that dude. So like what I tell people is I played for the Eagles, but I was born in the jungle.
There you
know
go.
what I mean? So
I love it.
I can two things can be true. I can be right. Eagles green till I die. I can bleed green, but I can still, kick out a who they. I'm like, hey, Skyline chili and cheesesteaks, bro. That's what it's about.
Yeah. Wow. Did you really like that Skyline chili?
Man, I grew up on that, bro. When I go home, wherever I'm going, that's the beeline. That's the first stop. Give me Skyline. Let me get about 5 cheese conies.
Ooh,
on the go. Yes, sir, dude. I love Skyline chili. I'll never forget. I was a freshman in high school,
Mhm.
and there was a Skyline Chili right down the street from Princeton High School where I went to school. Princeton High School, put your hand over your heart every time you say it. But I remember we went there when we moved back because I used to live in St. Louis, and we
Yeah.
moved back to Cincinnati. That's where I was born and raised, and we moved away, moved around, and then came back when me and my twin sister went to high school.
Yeah.
And we went my freshman year in high school. We went there, and I ordered. My dad said, "Get what you want." I ordered 10 cheese cones.
What?
And he looked at me like I had 5 heads. He was like, nah. He said, "I tell you what." He said, "I'll order you 5. If you want some more, I'll get you some more. But you're not ordering to." Man, I ended up eating 9.5 cheese cones that night, though.
Are you kidding?
9.5.
9.5? Wow.
9.5 cheese cones, bro.
Wow. Oh my goodness.
When I tell you I grew up on Skyline and I love me some Skyline, bro.
Yeah.
Skyline pizza, Skyline chili and La Rosa's pizza, man, from Cincinnati, Ohio, bro. Every day, all day.
Jeez. I tell you what, man, I've had it. I'm not really a fan of it.
Yeah.
They do it differently. Like my wife is sitting in here, the sweetie's in here. There's one here in Lexington. And so, I see the placement. I turn my nose up every time I pass by.
But you know what, though? I bet you I can tell you on one hand how many times I've actually ordered the chili. I always get the cheese conies. I never get I like the chili, but it's always the cheese conies. Cheese conies are different.
Yeah, fair. See, okay, now see that now that makes a lot more sense because I don't do the chili, man. I don't ride with it. I don't rock with it whatsoever. But me saying that, Marcus, what I like to do on this show, man, I like to always acknowledge the people that come here in the comments and the chat. So I'm gonna say what's up to everybody that's in here. So I know everybody, man. Y'all give Marcus a warm Chief Concerns welcome. My guy YB Negative is in here. Cole Keller is in here. Charles Driver, Crispy is in the house. Nana Sherry, what's going on, Nana Sherry? She said, "I need advice how to watch Sunday games without stress." Hey,
good luck.
Yeah, good luck. Here we go. But we'll talk about it a little bit more. Vonda Bethel was in here. Chief of 65, what's going on, sweetie? Good to see you. Mike Brennan is in the house. Richie Hall is here as well. Andrea Chanel, what's going on? She says, "Hey, everyone, please pray for me and my family. Lost a great niece. Please pray for me and my family. Lost my great niece. She was only 22 and about to graduate college. Lord have mercy."
Peace, power, and condolences.
Yes. I just wanted to drop in and let my Chiefs Concerned family know I wasn't present tonight. Andrea, listen, your presence is always felt here. We will definitely pray for you and your family in this loss. Sorry to hear it so much, man. Oh, my goodness. 22 is young.
Yeah.
Before we got on here, Marcus, we were just talking about, obviously, I told my Chiefs Concerned family about our brother in arms, Sean Littles, who had passed away. That was a hard thing for us, man. And loss is one of those things that is hard to wrap your head around. People that's with you 1 second and gone the next. And so one thing we do here is we always want to have a heart and empathy for the people that are dealing with whatever.
Absolutely.
So we are family on here. We love each other. Andrea, we love you right now. We putting our arms around you and your family. Just let you understand that. It's the good coming days. We all had to go through them, but we just gonna continue to pray for you. If you need anything else, you just let us know. And everybody else out here, please send your prayers and your thoughts and everything Andrea's way to our family. Man, so sorry to hear that.
Tough one, man. That's a tough one.
That is. About Time is in here. So About Time, which you damn. She says you're a legend on here. I don't know what you said. We'll get through it. Enrique Trillo, what's going on, Enrique? How's it going? Timothy G123. Talking about Marcus got the sniffles. Okay. You see Charles Driver, G Pick, JH, get well soon, Marcus. Yeah, Marcus, you see it right there. Lego My Ego is in the house as well. Timothy G123 says Snowquan. So he's talking about Saquon.
Saquon Barkley, okay.
Yeah,
Snowquan, I'll live with that. I'll live with that. I can take that.
Ray 028. Good evening. What's up, Ray? Good to see you as well. And so KSU 189 to Mecco Spence. Talking about he respect what you was talking about, Marcus. Loving 2 teams and whatnot. So that's good. That's good stuff right there. Yeah. AB is in the house. MT, your new nickname is 9.5 cheese coney.
I saw that.
As far as I'm concerned, that's funny. Chiefs 25. My man Stu Saltzman. What's going on, Stu? Talked a little bit early today. A Big Meat 260. Yo, what up, Big Meat? What's happening, my brother? Good to see you was here as well. So we're gonna get in here, man. We're gonna talk. The barbershop is in here. Good to see the barbershop. So everybody, if you see it, Andrea, people are praying for you, dear. And so we just want to let you know that, you're still in our thoughts and prayers. Optimistic James is in here in the house tonight. What's up, my man? What's going down with you? Greg Rose is in here as well. Hippie Cypriot, I think. Cypriot, something like that. I think that's what it is. I don't know. So I tell you what, man, we're going to go ahead and do a little dive into a few things that obviously the Chiefs got the Bills this weekend. We talked about the Eagles going to have the Commanders. That's the fight on 95. Everybody understand how close the Commanders are to the Eagles. I mean, it's 95. The highway is where the fight happens.
2 hours away. Yeah.
Yeah. It's right there. It's right there. It's very close. It's going to be a good game. Both these, man, look, these are two tough matchups in the AFC Championship game and the NFC Championship games.
Yeah.
These are two deserving teams that made it to this thus far, okay, to win it, to go to the Super Bowl. And so we understand, look, we played the Bills earlier this year, lost to them. Matter of fact, I say our only loss, Marcus. It was really our only loss. We went against Denver, didn't really have a full team. Obviously, a lot of our starters sat down. I thought we had a chance still a little bit, to kind of compete. I told them, look, we NFL football players, we go in the game, we think we're going to win regardless of who we got.
Every single time.
So for us, hey, we always got a shot as long as you got time, downs, and guys out there to go play, catch, tackle. Look, we can make those things happen. Didn't happen. But I say that our own really loss with a full team was against the Bills. Okay? That's how it was. So what we're going to talk about a little bit is all I've seen for the past 2 or 3 weeks, okay? And let's just, this past week, obviously, and I want to kind of ask you too, is all this pushback, okay, of the Chiefs and these penalties and how the refs help out the Chiefs. And oh my gosh, I can't believe the Chiefs. It's going to be the Chiefs and the refs against everybody. And, we got to go through the refs to get to them to win. And that's not fair. And that's all I've heard. It's been the narrative for the entire 2 weeks. Well, really all season. It's been maybe the past couple of years, okay? And we even talked about Bradbury and the whole hold and all of that. Back then, everybody was kind of talking about that. But let me kind of get your opinion, okay? You're being a little bit objective. I know you're going to be straight up with it, okay?
Yeah.
Right? Look, you played a lot of football before. What did you think about the call against Patrick Mahomes, if you was able to see it, what the refs kind of talked about, how they disseminated the entire information to where it is now? What do you think about those calls, the two calls?
Well,
go ahead.
First off, everybody gets a turn. Everybody gets a turn on the good side and on the bad side.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say this, just looking at it from the outside looking in.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it does look suspect because they are so inconsistent. However, that ain't y'all fault.
Right.
That's not y'all job. Y'all job is to play. We benefited from some calls. Like I said, everybody gets a turn when it comes to that. The problem is that it seems like the optics are that every time it's a game involving the Chiefs, there's always a big miss with the refs. That's a fair criticism. But again, that ain't your fault. You just benefited from it. It is what it is. We were raised different. Like we was talking, we built different. Roy Kidd didn't play that complaining about the refs.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You win some, you lose some, and you keep it moving. Now, what I will say is this. Now, I don't know. That's something that we talk about when I'm lucky enough to attend some of the competition meetings. I don't know if you get that message to be a part of the Zoom calls.
Yeah.
They talk about that stuff a lot. Troy Vincent is usually heading the meeting, and it's always about 40, 50 former players in that meeting. Everybody's asking questions. So it is on the NFL's mind, and I will say they are trying to get it right. Now, clearly, they don't always do that, but they are trying to get it right. They're trying to do better with the replay assist and things of that nature. The problem is that anytime Patrick Mahomes is in the game or the Chiefs are in the game, that's a big game because everybody knows what's at stake. They're going to be the only team to three-peat, possibly. So that's always going to be big news. So the optics in a lot of situations aren't good. And to me, that's not on the Chiefs. That's on the NFL to get that right.
Right.
And
right.
the problem is the inconsistencies with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you're gonna call that the shot to the head or the roughing the passer, no problem. Just be consistent across the board. And when you see other guys take shots to the head, all right, when is it and when is it not? You know what I mean?
Right.
When Jalen Hurts got his concussion against Washington, that was a shot to the head, but it wasn't called. But it wasn't called because he didn't slide.
Yes, right, correct.
But the situation with Patrick Mahomes, he didn't slide.
Mm-hmm.
He was trying to juke and jive and get the first down. So that's the gray area we talk about. So, but then they say, and we talked about this in that competition meeting, you err to the side of caution. If you think it might happen, the refs are going to throw the flag. I ain't got a problem with that. The problem is they're not consistent with it. And it always comes back to people have their own conspiracy theories and stuff like that. And I'm like, it don't work that way, but I understand, especially with social media and the stuff that we do, how it gets a life of its own. It just goes because let's be real. The Chiefs are the next iteration of the Patriots.
Right.
The Patriots wasn't winning no games before Tom Brady.
Mm-mm.
They were the bottom of the barrel. And then all of a sudden you had Drew Bledsoe. Drew Bledsoe goes down, and then all of a sudden Tom Brady happens. And then when he won the first time, it was like, oh, that guy came from nowhere and won the. That's a good story.
Yeah.
Then it turned into, man, we sick of him winning.
Right.
And then now you transition to the Chiefs. They the same way. I've always had respect for Patrick Mahomes because when he got drafted, didn't nobody want him, and I was like, that dude gonna make something happen, and he did, and he did it again, and he might do it a third time. Not if we got something to say, but he gonna be in that situation. So now you got everybody that hates the Chiefs because they win too much.
Mm-hmm.
Any angle you looking to tear them down, that's what people are gonna do. And me as a former Eagle, you as a former Eagle, you know what they do to Philly all the time. So when you're talking about people bringing hate or feeling some kind of way when you get calls, we've been through that before. So it takes one to know one.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it is what it is. People gonna get mad, and if they gonna get mad, they be mad by themselves.
Yeah. Well, look. So I'm gonna inject a little bit here. So we understand. Yeah. Sometimes you get the short end of the stick. Everybody's been a beneficiary off of a call. Okay, let's just be honest here. I don't think anybody is getting more calls than anybody else. Enrique Torillo says, so glad. So he says here, okay, we kind of talk about Josh Allen flops and tries to get calls all the time. We will see how much he does it and how much the announcers will point it out this weekend. Look, and I'm one of those, man. I'm not one of those both sidesism. I don't like doing that, right? But I'm going to give you a stat here, okay? So there was this telling tale said roughing the passer calls per 100 pass attempts, okay, in the league, right? And they went through the number of guys. Patrick Mahomes is at 0.63%. Russell Wilson's 0.71%. Baker Mayfield, 0.73%. Okay, Kirk Cousins, 0.74%. Deshaun Watson, 0.78%. Jared Goff, 0.78%. And Josh Allen, 0.93%. Okay, so Josh Allen has more of the rough and passer calls for 100 passing attempts than anybody else. And Patrick Mahomes is right there. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Number 7 on the list, okay, where they have him at. But my thing is this. Perspective matters. Optic matters. And sometimes when it comes down to where they believe that the game is determined and dictated off of some of these calls, that's the problem and the reason. Now, I heard Cam Newton okay, actually make that same argument. Matter of fact, I might go ahead and pull him up and see what he said on this.
I was thinking of the same thing, but I couldn't remember who said it. But you're right. That was Cam Newton. That was reading off like the yardage.
Exactly. Yardage and stuff. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this thing up and get it on here. So let's see if I can go. All right. So this is a new thing for me, folks. Y'all bear with me. All right. So I'm gonna try to share. Let me see. Share screen. That's the two monitors. I'll show these tips again. Okay. I'll show them. Let's see if this thing works. Oh, okay. All right, y'all gotta bear with me because I haven't done this before. Share model. Okay. Well, it was Cam Newton. Hold on. Let me see. Matter of fact, see if y'all can hear this. How about that? All right. It might be easier to do it that way where y'all can hear it. All right. Because screen share and all that's new to me, folks. All right. Marcus is the guy that does all this. Okay. Your boy JD doesn't that. I don't do all that. So but yeah, so Marcus, I'm gonna go back to just what we were saying, but we just talk about these, all these different things, that you have to deal with out here, which I think is just it's unfair. I think it's a little slanted what everybody has as far as what they think is actually happening out here. So hold on.
Here's that fewer penalties in the last 10 of 11 games. That's a little alarming. Okay. But you also see Kansas City penalty yards, 319 yards versus the opponent penalty yards, 541 yards. That's a little alarming. These are not just penalties here. These are difference makers of outcomes of the games. It's happening on third down. This is a personal foul that kept the ball alive, kept them alive, kept the drive alive. That's keeping an already good team another opportunity. And just to say it, when you have conversations with people off camera, the NFL already rigged. Let them tell it. Yes. Taylor Swift, they keep showing more Taylor Swift than anybody else. Yes. Then you got Caitlin Clark with Taylor Swift, and that's even more of a monument. It's like, yo, does the NFL really need Kansas City? Is it good business in that point? But when you see it from that lens, obviously DeMeco Ryans is furious. Obviously the Texans is furious. But when you look at it, it's not just penalties. These are really coming down to deciding factors of an actual game. And not only that, personal foul that when you hear.
So I was just thinking, and when I was looking at this, I'm like, Cam actually made a good point. I don't think the point he actually made. Okay, at least for me and my argument on it, is what you do see is a team that has been winning that I do believe may be a little bit more disciplined in certain positions, certain areas. So you start getting to more playoff wins. When you start winning a particular way, one of the factors that determines an outcome is how disciplined you are, or not having penalties. And so I know Andy's one of those guys that reiterates to the guys about, doing things a particular way, right? Having a standard about how you go about doing things. He gets on guys anytime a guy has a penalty, as long as it's, now look, we know if a guy's, using a lot of effort and stuff like that, you don't really call a penalty too much. But boneheaded plays, we said Jawan Taylor would jump off sides, maybe he lined up wrong. Kadarius Toney last year, he lines up against, I think it was the Bills. He lines up off sides, boneheaded things like that. He gets on, okay? But also, too, these guys know, and we understand in meetings, what are we told all the time from a coaching staff is penalties will kill you. Turnovers will kill you. We understand this. This is part of the conversation. But Andy does a great job of making sure guys understand what it means to be a champion, okay? Now, I don't know why Cam decided to invoke Caitlin Clark and,
he lost me on that one.
Yeah, the whole conversation, right? Because it's just another narrative everybody wants to say just to hate the Chiefs. But I think he made a valid point. The valid point he's actually making is the Chiefs are a much more disciplined football squad than some other teams. Now, it's not saying that they are always going to be disciplined and not going to have any penalties. Things do happen in the game. We do understand that. But I will say that part of our our pedigree is that we're not going to have a huge penalized team. Eddie just don't put up with it. And you know that playing up in Philly, you used to see it when he was up in Philly, the same thing. Eddie just he don't deal with those things, right? He lets guys play, but also too, he wants guys to play within the rules of what they say, you know?
Yeah. But also you got to look at this.
Right.
Because Kansas City is good as it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's about maximizing the opportunities you get. And when you do capitalize on that opportunity, and then you get a penalty that negates it, now the furor is a lot worse. Because think about it like this: we finally got to Mahomes. Now you got me for it. So,
yeah.
and especially, and again, here's where the optics come into play. It wasn't like he was going out of bounds. He was juking and jiving, trying to get the extra yard. So he was a runner. He wasn't a quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So again, for me, I'm looking at it as if you're going to call it. You know, we already know. Everybody knows. They overemphasize it for a point. But when it doesn't look like you want it to look, and he's the runner, but he's not a quarterback, he's trying to get an extra yard. And to me, where the real crux of it is that fine line when you're trying to go full speed and all of a sudden you got to pull the emergency brake. It can't happen.
Right.
It can't happen. So it's a totally different argument if he's trying to slide out of bounds. When he got thrown out of bounds last year and they got the penalty, that's stupid. Yeah. Right? Because you know they're going to get you, and they should get you.
Mm-hmm.
But again, Jalen Hurts got thrown out of bounds last weekend. No call. You know, he's trying to get the extra and it might get a late hit or something like that. The consistency is the problem. And it just always seems like because of how good Patrick Mahomes is, the national narrative is like he don't need no extra help. And every time you throw that flag and it's a questionable call, that's when people is like, come on now.
Right.
Like that's where it looks bad.
Yeah. So okay, I will say that, right? And actually, when Travis Lawrence got hit by Aziz, okay, and they were talking about how dirty of a shot it was and what he did, he should be suspended, he should be gone for the rest of the season, all these things, right?
Yeah.
And I was actually like, look, Trevor Lawrence kind of slid at the end. Aziz, you know, he's thinking, I mean, like you said, trying to pull the brake on to hit a guy, that's hard to do. It's tough to do. So my thing was, but I see what they're saying, that he should be fined for the things that he did. I get it. Now, the same thing, because we're going to like the consistency of it.
Right.
If Pat is going down, and it seems like he's perceived going down and giving himself up, and it's always that ambiguity, right? In there a little bit. Is he or is he not? It's kind of the question. Then it's on the refs to make that call.
Right.
And so for them, look, we understand. Look, this is without a doubt human error, and these things are going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I think the first one, the clear one, was the whole roughing the passer. Will Anderson hitting his face mask should have been called. He's up top, hits the face mask, absolutely, right? Like I don't think there's any type of ambiguity as far as in that rule in itself. The one is, like we were just talking about, the last one of just going down. Now, did Pat, you look to the refs and try to get a call? I didn't see him doing that. But like you said, it's not our fault. It's not Patrick Mahomes' fault. That's the refs to make that call, right?
That's correct. This is the NFL's version of the Jordan rules.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So,
everybody knows it exists. And if it was benefiting your team, you would take advantage of it. So I'm not going to hate on it, but think of it like this. A lot of this stems from Patrick Mahomes. Didn't he have a play early in the season where it looked like he was going out of bounds and he ended up going down the sidelines and damn near scoring?
No. For me, it didn't. For me, what people, I think, fail to understand is that Pat is probably one of the most underrated, underappreciated runners with the football as a quarterback there is, okay? Mm-hmm. Because he didn't look like a runner. When he takes off running, Pat is always going to tiptoe. I mean, you see it his entire career. He's been doing the exact same thing. It is on the defender to hit him on the sideline. I'm sorry. It tells you anytime you're sitting over here, okay, old offensive coordinator, Jimmy Ray. Jimmy Ray said, man, you better get violent on the sideline, okay?
Mhm.
Because they're coming to hit you, and you can't pull up thinking they're not going to hit you, but you can't take every other chance thinking that they won't. So get violent, lower your shoulder, all those different things. But Pat just made a good move going up the sideline. So when people say that, I'm like, man, he didn't use that rule of running out of bounds. To me, I think that was it was a false narrative. 100% it was. Because if they just know through the history, body of work that Patrick does, Patrick is a great runner with the football, and he don't mind running up the sideline. Now, Pat is not one of those. I'm going to tell you, Pat is not one of those to make a cry to the refs and all these different things about hit me on the sideline, okay? We know what it means when you drag a guy out of bounds. We know what it means when, you were 2 or 3 steps out of bounds. That's a different thing. That's a different thing. So I think, man, for us, at least on that narrative, Pat didn't use that rule. It's just what everybody was sitting there saying because everybody still is slanted in the way to think the Chiefs still getting the calls. So, so go ahead, man. I'm gonna address some of these questions out here because I know there's a lot of questions out here right now that people want to kind of talk about. So we'll discuss it. So Enrique comes back to JD and Marcus. What's your thoughts on the Chiefs O-line? Okay, we'll get into the Chiefs O-line right there. But let me see. So Kevin said they are skewing the numbers to fit their narrative. Chiefs have slightly better penalty numbers this year, 5.3 penalties per game than it was last year, I think he's saying, at 5.4. So my thing is, it's just one of those things that you got to be able to live with. But I'm telling you, Marcus, if you're going into the game and you already thinking that the refs are against you, which I'm sure coaches are going in, you're not going to get a fair shake in Arrowhead. You're playing the Kansas City Chiefs. Hey, man, how about we don't even worry about none of that? How about we just go out there and play football and play fast? If we get a penalty because you're doing the right thing, that we think you're doing the right thing, fine, let's live with it. Let's live with it. Because at the end, as long as we're doing our job, everything is going to come out with a victory. So
yeah, but I mean, to be fair, I would imagine that the players do that. But anytime you're talking about a narrative or what the media heads say and stuff like that, it's out of the locker room. This is a media thing, and it's something to talk about. It's clickbait. It's traffic. So Patrick Mahomes is always going to drive that traffic. You know what I mean? Taylor Swift is always going to drive that traffic. Caitlin Clark is always going to drive that traffic. So that's the media narrative. But you already know, at the end of any game, the coach is going to tell you, hey, you can't leave it in the hands of the refs. How about let's not be in that position where it matters that much? So for players, that always comes down, and that's the bottom line. You're never going to try to blame it on the refs.
Okay.
That's everybody else's job. So we talking about what the media is putting out there, but when we in the locker room, we ain't worried about that.
Right.
If you screw up on the play, you got a next play coming. You got to worry about the next play. You can't worry about what you did.
Thank you.
You know what I mean? So you got to keep it moving. So this is more of a media thing, and I know sometimes it does look bad, but like I said from the beginning, everybody gets a turn. Everybody's going to get a call. Everybody's going to miss a call. You know what I mean? People think Patrick Mahomes, he benefits from calls. Everybody in Philly will say Jalen Carter gets held on every play. So it's always going, you know what I'm saying? It's always going to be something. So you just gotta keep it moving. Yeah. And eventually your guy's going to win or they're going to win. But
well, I tell you what, as far as you saying keep it moving, man, we're going to keep this thing moving, man, because we can beat this with a dead horse over and over again. That's what it's going to be. But we know, like, when you're in the locker room, you got to play to win. And we know one play doesn't determine anything. You got 60 minutes like everybody else to try to do your best to win that thing. So,
and ultimately, this conversation right now is not going to convince anybody one way or the other.
It's not. No, it's not. No, everybody's like, you know what? JD's right a little bit. No,
they believe what they believe.
Right. Patrick Mahomes is still, he's getting the call. So, hey, man, haters, so be it, whatever. So let me go ahead and move on to talking about the offense, man, and a little bit of our first game that we played against the Bills, okay? Like I said before, this is our first team that we had the loss against this season. And some of the plays that I remember that had to happen We first started out, we came out, man, we threw a pick. Pat threw a pick, first possession in Buffalo, which you know is hard to do. Okay.
Right.
And so
Two
I would
picks that
say,
game,
yeah. And so it took fourth quarter, it was 4th and 2 that Josh Allen had to make a valiant effort for the first down. He actually ran for the first down. They actually got a touchdown on that one call. But things are different now, Marcus. Things are different. We're in the playoffs.
Yep.
He is in Kansas City or Arrowhead at GHA Stadium, which is one of the toughest places to come play. We're going to have an advantage, obviously, for being in home field advantage. And our crowd is probably one of the best in the NFL. So everybody always talks about playoff Kansas City. It's a loud stadium. We know the fans are going to be excited to get this thing happening. But offensively, on the offensive side of the football, we're going to have to be better. Okay. I've said this. This game is a game where it's going to be won in the trenches. Now, it's like one of those things, cliche, and what is that? No, I'm telling you right now, the determining factor in this game is going to be won up front. It's going to be right there where the big boys are fighting every single play. Okay?
Yeah.
And me talking to you as a running back, you understand this more than anything else. Our offensive line, okay, this is one of the things we have contention about. We've kind of done somewhat of a musical chairs because our left tackle had been hurt. We got a DJ Humphries, who was an all-pro left tackle with the Arizona Cardinals, coming off of ACL. We got him, kind of I ain't gonna say off the streets. He's on his couch. Was coming back. ACL wasn't quite what it should have been, but he said he was ready. Comes in because we didn't really have a good outing from Wanye Morris, a 3rd-round pick from a couple of years ago, who was playing left tackle. Just wasn't getting the job done. And Wanye was battling, injuries also too. DJ Heffer comes in, hurts his hamstring. Well, we moved Joe Tooney, our all-pro left guard, out to left tackle. And I'm telling you, Mark, he's been doing one hell of a job. One hell of a job. He's been holding it down. Hasn't been perfect, but still been doing a hell of a job.
Right.
Valiant effort by him. Mike Caliendo comes in as his backup and is doing a great job too. But this game is going to be different because we had Wanye Morris last time, and they was kind of taking him to task somewhat. Von Miller and those guys is getting up the field on him. And another thing we couldn't necessarily do, Marcus, we couldn't run the football. And I know for you as a running back, man, hey, if those guys are not opening the hose, that's a tough thing to sled, man. Talk about that a little bit, man.
You know what? Because I got a frustration with this. Because y'all got a good running back. We got the best running back. But ultimately, in my opinion, they still don't use them right.
Okay.
But let me address the first point. It doesn't matter what team you are. Eagles, Washington, Kansas City, Buffalo. It doesn't matter. There's 2 ways you win the game. Win the line of scrimmage, don't turn the ball over.
Okay.
Win the line of scrimmage, don't turn the ball over. That's it. You ain't got to go no further than that. If you talking about Kansas City's offense, if that offensive line can win the line of scrimmage and you can run the ball effectively, for me, running the ball effectively is ending the night with at least 4 yards of carry. That was the goal as a running back. You got to get 4 yards. 4 yards means if I run the ball 3 times in a row, that's a first down. That's why you got to get 4 yards. So that's the goal. So you still got to establish that line of scrimmage. And for me, the run opens up the pass because the run will always bring the linebackers up. They got to respect, and it opens up the middle of the field. Now, here's where everybody uses running backs incorrectly, and it pisses me off because I'm a running back, and we got Saquon Barkley. He just ran for 2,000 yards, and I'm like, why in the hell do they not pitch Saquon out wide? All of our runs are inside. The two touchdowns were inside runs that he bounced out.
Okay.
But they're inside runs. And my thing is like when Saquon was going for the record, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Eric Dickerson.
Yes.
I said Eric Dickerson is not the mark we should be after. The mark we should be after is Terrell Davis. Terrell Davis is the only 2,000-yard rusher with a Super Bowl ring. That's the only mark I want to get. Eric Dickerson didn't sniff the Super Bowl.
It's good.
So I'm looking at it from that standpoint. And when you look at Terrell Davis, when he was with Denver, what did Terrell Davis excel at? With that offensive line, zone, stretch the defense out. There is no hole. You get the ball to your running back as deep as humanly possible and let running backs do what running backs do. There is no, and what that does is it stretches the defense out. And I am particular. I want to see that quarterback get as deep as and do this. Stick that arm out. Because what's the first thing a linebacker's going to do when they see the ball? See ball, get ball.
That's it.
And it forces the linebackers to come up. They got to respect it. And now you got about 3 to 5 more yards in the middle of the field that ain't nobody there. And then that's when the chess match starts to happen. Who can scheme it up the best to bring them linebackers up off their post? If you can do that, you can run outside, inside, up the middle, screen pass, mesh concepts, 5 to 10. To me, the long ball is overrated. You ain't got to throw the ball 30, 40 yards down the field. All you got to do is take a 5 to 10, short to mid, get the ball in the hand of your playmakers and let them make plays. That's all you got to do. It is not complicated.
No, it isn't. And so I love you saying that, y'all. So this is an NFL running back telling you all how it should be played, okay? And I agree with you. We have 2 solid running backs, okay, in Isaiah Pacheco and Kareem Hunt, okay? Last week, we had Kareem Hunt come in. Isaiah Pacheco, much more of a smaller back, kind of a scat guy. A little undersized. I guess now he dropped some weight. He got a little bit more silkier, more smoother running the football. But he's come in the last couple of weeks, Mark, because he hadn't really been able to generate yards, okay? And part of it is people just said maybe his vision. But I said, look, it ain't always his fault. No. Sometimes you got to make those holes open up for him. Sometimes when you run zone, we know we got the combination blocks got to be seamless to get up to the next level. And so, like you said, what you have to do running the football, the whole concept of running the football, like you said, is to open up the pass too, right? Yeah. You want to beat a defense in submission. The guys up front, that front 7, you want to make sure that you punish them as much as possible. Your biggest hammer is that running back. Watch Derrick Henry, the things he was able to do, okay? You start seeing a running back, especially in cold weather, how he's able just to run through a defense. It's hard to tackle him. They don't want to get him down. Saquon Barkley, man, he just start ripping those jokers up, you know, in that game. But Isaiah Pacheco, like I said, a little bit smaller back, people's like, we don't have no vision. Well, we ain't opened the holes like we should.
Man, and Pacheco is a violent runner.
He's a violent runner, man. He's a violent runner, but he doesn't have the size as the Kareem Hunt. Okay.
Now, I think what Pacheco, in my opinion, sometimes he hits the hole a little bit too fast.
That's why. Okay, that was my point. My point was, I wasn't going to say he didn't have. It's not he didn't have visions. He lacks patience. Yes. And so when he came back, the patience wasn't necessarily there. I said one thing he has to do, just like Patrick Mahomes has to do, is they have to be patient on not trying to wear the cape all the time and being a hero. Right? Don't try to do too much. And you know how in NFL, the whole breeze. People don't understand how difficult it is as a running back in the NFL. The holes breathe. And it's like you got to feel the patience. You almost got to feel the hole where it's going to be and anticipate it to make those cuts. We showed on the last show, man, Kareem Hunt came in, did a masterful job running the football, run it hard. He does a great job turning his body, getting extra yards. But he made a jump cut to go to the outside on zone. Now, I said on zone, you know this. You only got one cut, and that's it. You got to go.
That's it. You got to go north and south.
That's right. There ain't nowhere else. You go everywhere else you try to go, buyers beware. Buyers beware, because that's where the pain is. But he made a jump cut, went to the outside, man, and got up through. I said, man, that is a beautiful run. That's exactly how it's supposed to look. Now, with that being said, and we talked about like how you got to win on the line of scrimmage, okay? And that goes for both sides. But you want to manipulate the linebackers as much as possible.
Absolutely.
Okay? That's where the key is.
That's the key.
Because when you got those guys looking around where to run, how to cover, and stuff like that, that's when you have a defense. You know, because after all of that, hey, man, when you get back up to the linebackers, it don't even matter what goes on in the secondary, okay? I'm gonna let my guy go against your guys in secondary, okay?
Absolutely. And you got to look at it like this. one step in the wrong direction for a linebacker. One step equals 3 yards of space on the field in real time.
Come on.
You go on full speed, one
Talk
step.
to
If a linebacker takes one step up, that's automatically 3 yards worth of space, because now you got a running back or a wide receiver going in the other direction. So now you got a little bit more space behind that middle zone. Now you got something to work with. Is he going to sit it down? Is he going to go across the middle? Are they running the mesh concept, a rub route or something like that? There's so many things you can do, and it puts the defense on their heels. And just like both games, Washington and Philly and KC and Buffalo, defense is going to win this game for y'all. Defense wins championships. If they can't score, they can't win.
Right.
So that's what it's going to come down to. And whether you're talking about a running back or a linebacker, it's all of, as an offensive guy, it's all about trying to set it up for that big play. If you getting good yardage, if you getting your 4 yards a pop running the ball, those linebackers must come up and pay attention. In our situation with Saquon, we got a lot of guys trying to go. They start out in 2 shell, then they switch to a single high because they bring that other safety up for run support. That leaves you at a disadvantage, and it's up to us as an offense to take advantage of that. So the run game, all you got to do is figure out a way to exploit that defense, because defense is going to win this game, both of them. This is going to be a defensive battle. So if the defense can prevent, if Kansas City's defense and Spags can draw it up and can figure out a way to limit Josh Allen, that's your key to win. But what it comes down to is, does the defense, or can the defense take advantage of the opportunities they get? When we played the Rams, the second play from scrimmage, Slay drops a pick right in his hands that would have been a pick six. Right? And then what happens? LA goes down to score that possession. But if we catch that ball, we dropped 3 picks in that game. 3. We should have had 5 turnovers. We dropped 3. Slay dropped 1. I don't know if you saw, Isaiah Rodgers had a perfect ball, but he tried to cradle it. What do they teach you as a receiver? You never let the ball come to you. You go up and high point.
You got to go up and go get a high point. That's right. Absolutely.
You put them thumbs together, you pull it down with authority. He did like that, and that receiver took his pick away from him. They end up scoring on that. So we gave up the opportunities, and then we had the rookie Cooper DeJean had another one fall through his hands towards the end of the game.
Oh my God!
That would have iced it.
You sure would have
iced it. So when the defense takes advantage of those opportunities, we got the fumble. We got the fumble and a good return by Isaiah Rodgers, and we didn't end up scoring on that one. We ended up kicking a field goal. So stuff like that, when the defense gives you the ball, the offense has got to convert.
Right.
But it all falls on the defense.
Right. So we'll talk, kind of on it, like taking advantage of certain things, and that's what happened against us, man. We the turnover against, with Pat, the first one. We also had third downs. We're having a little trouble with getting off the field on third downs, right? But you got to win, and that's what has to happen, especially in the playoffs. In any type of game, got to get off the field on third downs.
Yeah.
And so what we decided to do defensively. So I'm gonna go to our defensive front 7. All right. We was bringing a lot of pressure on Josh Allen, and it was hitting home. We was getting to him for the most part, but they would come up big. Let me see. They had one where, the illegal pick that they ran with Curtis Samuels got a touchdown, got open. Amari Cooper comes out of nowhere. He gets 2 tough catches, against our number 13, Najee Johnson. Our guy, Jalen Watson, is back, coming off a leg injury, but he didn't get to play against the last game, but he'll be back this game against them. But like you said, opportunities, guys got to make plays, and that's what has to happen. Our front 7 on defense, okay? We ended up having 8 sacks last week, right? It's a different ball game this week. Why? Because everything runs through Josh Allen. Everything, right? As good as the job James Cook does during the season, we shut him down the last game. The one that killed him was Josh Allen. He was their leading rusher last game. I think he had like 55 yards rushing, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see. Let me go back to it. So he ended up being their leading rusher.
Mm-hmm.
And usually now what they have is they have deferred everything to say if anything happens, Josh Allen's going to take care of it. We're not going to give it a cook. We're not going to throw it to your tight end. We're not going to throw it to the wide receiver. Josh Allen, it's in your hands. You got to make it work. And most of the time he does. So what we have to do is up front, our defensive line, I'm going to talk to y'all right now. Okay. This game, there is no tomorrows. There is no do-overs. There is no, well, we'll get them next time type of deal. When you get into the playoffs, it is now. The time is now. There's no next play. It has to happen now. We got to take an approach that every snap, every time we line up, we got to beat the O-line up. They got a very good offensive line. They do. They do a great job of running Josh Allen by himself, quarterback, runs, powers, traps. They do a good job of that. If we read those traps and stuff, Marcus, because that's what they do, get that first down, and spy him, we're going to be fine. If we start lighting that joker up like we should, it'll be the turning point. But our D-line has to play like monsters up front. And I'm telling you,
they got to get home.
They got to get home. So
we know
CJ's going to do it up front. We know Charles Minute is going to do it up front. Now it's the challenge to everybody else that's up there, okay? George Kalafdis got 3 sacks last week. Great. Sacks are good. Well, we got to stop the run, too. We got to have pressures when you don't expect the pressures, all right? Mike Danner, guy that does it all. Undersized defensive end, scrappy guy, but he'll come in and he'll take some turns on a couple of the quarterbacks, getting to him and stop, knocking balls down. We need FAU, Felix, Zuma, those guys need to step up. Pennell, you need to step up. Turk, you need to step up. Nandi, you need to step up. I need the guys that everybody don't talk about, Marcus, to come in and have a spectacular game, okay? It can't be just the regular guys. I'm looking for unsung heroes to come in and make a difference.
Absolutely, man.
That's what I need. So we sit over saying, the stars going to do their job, but the D-line up front, y'all have got to be animals. And I'm telling you, destroyers with these guys when we come up here. Because there's going to be one there. We talked about that. It's got to be one. And you got to get to Josh Allen, our linebackers, to play this. And I told you this, Marcus, you know this too. Everybody talks about linebacker play. But I don't know not one linebacker that was great that didn't have a good defensive line in front of him.
Absolutely. You work together. You work together. And the game plan, it's funny how the teams in the Final Four, every team has a running quarterback.
Every team.
It's a whole bunch of I said this because everybody was hating on Jalen Hurts, but you could apply this because Patrick Mahomes has had the same type of games. Josh Allen only threw for 130 last time. So it's a whole lot of passing yards watching from the couch.
Yes, sir.
You win how you got to win.
Right.
And what the defense, and this is the defense for every team, because every quarterback that is playing has the opportunity and has the capability to go long running the ball.
That's right.
The defense, they got to do what they call the mush rush. And what that simply means is the defensive line, especially the edges, they got to be disciplined. So when you get past the line of scrimmage, you cannot go deeper than the quarterback's drop. The minute you over pursue and go past the quarterback, he gonna slip right underneath you and go bust out outside, and he either gonna take off, or in Mahomes' situation, Mahomes is known for skirting that line and then trying to see if Kelsey will pop open late. But if you get your hands on him, you got to get him down. Point, period, in the paragraph.
That's right.
Same thing with Josh Allen, except Josh Allen is more apt to run, and he's a big running back. I still think Josh Allen he's reckless, but he just ain't paid the piper yet. But eventually, the law of averages is gonna say you're gonna get got eventually.
Yeah,
everybody knows what Jalen Hurts is. First series of the game, Jalen goes 44 yards on the touchdown right off tackle.
Yeah.
And they was ready for that, and they still couldn't stop it. And Jaden Daniels, man, this young pup is just lighting it up because he can throw the ball like nobody's business, and he's wiry, and he's fast, and he's young. So,
I don't think nobody realized how dangerous that is to have that element to your game. And I told you before, Patrick Mahomes is one of those guys. So what they did last game is they spied Patrick.
Absolutely.
Which they had to. And so what they did is they did the cage rush to kind of keep him inside, but also, too, they did a lot of stunts and twists to get him flushed out. You know why they got him flushed out, Marcus? Because they had a spy that was coming right off of that saying, yep. I'm meeting right here. I'm as fast as he is. I'm putting my money on this guy, right? That's what had to happen. And so when you were just talking about when the defensive line, you can only go as deep as the quarterback is, because when you try to retrace and go back, that's when the offensive line buries you because you're trying to make a tackle. The guy's already passed you. Josh Allen's too big and too strong to deal with something like that. You have got to make sure you bottom him up. You don't give him a place to run. If he does, you filter him out to a guy that is fast as he is, as big as he is, and make a tackle on him right now. You got to do it right now. So
get your hands on him. And then this is where the chess match comes in. Because if you're going to spy, that means a spy is the same thing as a blitz. That means there's a zone in the field that's uncovered.
Yes.
So if you're going to spy, that spy better get to him, or at least get a hurry in, get in his face, get in his line of sight, disrupt those passing lanes. So he can't, because what's the rule? Throw it where they ain't.
Throw it where they ain't. That's right.
So you gotta there is a risk reward in spying, in blitzing, all of that type of stuff. When you bring in the zero blitz and nobody's back,
oh man,
that can be bad for business if you don't get home.
That's bad ball right there. Yeah,
I was watching film on the Eagles, and when Jalen Hurts took that safety, if he would have got that ball away to Dallas Goedert, that'd have been the first down and some.
Right, or just throw it. How about just throw it?
Yeah,
don't take the safety.
But they got him on that one play. But it's all the same. The defense has got to get home, and they got to take advantage of the opportunities to get that ball back. Period. That's what it's going to come down to.
So I'm gonna move to the outside now. We kind of worked on the inside, the interior, offensive line, defensive line, and front seven and whatnot. So now I'm gonna talk about the playmakers on the outside. Okay, the prima donnas, the pretty boys, if you will. Okay, as a tight end, we call ourselves pretty boys. Y'all running backs always came in fly. Y'all was always the pretty boys in the locker room. Y'all know who it is. So our guys, okay, on the outside. We have a young rookie named Xavier Worthy, who has been playing some hell of a football.
Get him the ball.
Got to give him the football. And what we've been doing, Mark, when you were sitting there talking about how we can't out-leverage the defense, that's how you do it. A couple wide receiver screens, get up through. That's the way it works. So that's just as good as a pitch. That's just as good as getting outside. As long as you out-leverage the defense, you should be fine. And we do a good job of setting it up, doing a lot of going into motion and getting the ball to him. Doing some reverses and stuff with him. But he has also opened up his game because he has a guy that's there in front of him called DeAndre Hopkins. Okay, D-Hop. Yes, sir. Who has been teaching young buck, young pup, how to do things, how to run routes, how to get open. Talking about his mentality, how you should, at least respect the game. How do you carry the game on to this next level? And he has delivered. He has done that. And so we have Xavier Worthy's been playing lights out. DeAndre Hopkins, who is looking for a ring. He's never had one. This is his time and opportunity. He's going to make sure he takes advantage of that, okay? We got to get him the football. We didn't do it enough last game, but we should. But we also got a guy named Hollywood Brown, okay?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, that actually is here to play. And guess what? He's another one that can stretch the defense. One thing I know about this secondary with the Bills is they can get beat. They can get behind. They can get torched because I watched it all season. I watched Lamar Jackson do it the last week in the game. Then we got our guy, Travis Kelce, right?
Yeah.
Taylor Swift's boo, if you will, okay? Like do it. That's what it is. Somebody got on me because I said, she was his little sweet thing behind his arm. I was like, it's a term of endearment. Sweet thing. Yeah. These are two kids that's enjoying and loving each other life. So Travis is going out there. He hit him over the head the last game, man. Yeah. He's going to be hard to stop. The thing is, the reason we won this last game, Travis Kelce.
Yeah.
He ate
Well, I
those
mean,
jokers up.
the thing with Travis Kelce though is him and Mahomes had that unspoken communication that is second to none. Second to none. And I honestly believe that Kansas City's best strategy is to go at DeMar Hamlin.
Ooh.
Go
Come on.
challenge
Yes,
him.
sir.
Because to me, DeMar Hamlin, after all the hoopla, what happened and all of that kind of stuff, glad he came through it. But to me, DeMar Hamlin, he is a good, not great cornerback, and he can get got.
Yes.
He can get got. So, and also, I mean, when you got somebody like Xavier Worthy, to me, the best thing to do is switch up the formations, put him on the inside, put the tight end on the outside, and find a way to have a linebacker covering Xavier Worthy. That is money all day. Because there are plenty of linebackers that can run, but can't none of them cover.
That's right.
Can't none of them cover. That is a different skill set. I tried to tell people this before. There are a lot of Fred Warner, Zach Bond, Roquan Smith. There are a lot of linebackers that can run and run well.
Yes.
But they can't cover. Cover means you got to change directions, open and close your hips, accelerate to the ball, all of that type of stuff. That is a totally different skill set. And if you can move the chess pieces around where you can have your Xavier Worthy or Devontae Smith or whoever on the inside with your tight end on the outside. So now it's a switch up, and you got the cornerback or the safety moving up to guard the tight end, and your linebacker is on a slot receiver. You can cancel Christmas on that one.
Ooh,
so,
come on, man.
And you already know that Andy Reid, he got that playbook like that, man.
That's right.
He got that play in there somewhere, man.
Great job of doing matchups. That is his forte, is making sure that we have a great matchup against the defender. And so with us, we're going to be looking for that. No doubt about it. I love the strategy because I agree with you 100%, because it is all about matchups. I seen last game against the Ravens, Bateman beat DeMar Hamlin over top. He's supposed to give help. You know what, Marcus? He couldn't get back there. And you know what? Touchdown. And just torch the corner. My thing is this, and I'm going to go to the other side of the ball on this one. The Chiefs, we're going to have to do the same thing. Okay? We've had some of a difficulty dealing with tight ends and slot receivers.
Right.
And teams have figured this out, right? Like you do. You scout a report, you sitting there saying, well, look, if they're going to have a linebacker or safety covering our fast guy, that's what we want to be able to do. Curtis Samuels, Khalil Shakur was the guy that was catching the football on the inside. Anytime we ran man, Mike linebacker got number 3, cover 1. All right. They was pulling Bolton out, leaving the middle open. So that means that safety got to come down and take away that slant or take away that curl or that hook area. That's got to be his job. And we weren't doing enough to drive down on those things. But also, too, we let a couple of tight ends, and like I said, Khalil Shakur, the slot guy, start getting off on the game, start moving the chains. And so we got to do a much better job of that. One of our guys, that I said, probably one of the best corners in the league for me is Trent McDuffie. Trent McDuffie is always going to be on your best wide receiver. But the Bills don't really have a number one other than Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper's not the same guy that he was.
Amari Cooper. Yeah, Coleman is not there yet, but he might be dangerous in a year or two.
In a year or two, but he's not there. Yeah,
he's not there. He doesn't know how good he could be yet.
No, he's a guy that he's just a guy, right now. No slight on him, but the numbers say that, he hadn't really did too much.
That's a maturity thing. He'll be there.
It is. He'll get there. But anytime we have that where we could get Trent McDuffie, possibly get on the guy that's right there in the slot, in the middle, I think it's going to be a good matchup, because the other guys on the outside, Jalen Watson, Joshua Williams, Najee Johnson, could do the job. Our safeties, anytime you bring Reed down, Reed is another guy. He's a heat-seeking missile. Strong safety, hits guys. He hits everything that's moving. But his forte may not be in the passing game or pass coverage. We know this. You know what I mean? This ain't no secret. But we got to be able to defend those guys that's in the slot. We have to.
Right.
Okay. Put your hands on him. Make sure you got a mirror where he's going. All right. And stay in his hip pocket. Stay in his hip pocket. The reason we was able to do that last year is because we had Snead here. We've been trying to find a guy to replace Snead in that position that plays a nickel corner. That's what we got to be able to do. So Barbershop says Shakira is Allen's go-to receiver. No doubt about it. We know that. Barbershop, appreciate you saying so because that is the truth. He knows if he gets in a pinch, the first guy he's looking at is Shakur. He threw a couple of in the game to, like I said, Amari Cooper against us. But you got to be able to cover the slot, man. You don't cover the slot and the tight end, it's going to be a long, long game. A long, long game. So what do you think about that as far as, because you kind of named it as far as slot-wise and whatnot. I'm going to go to the Philly, the Eagles and the Commanders right now, for if you will. Zach Ertz is 100 years old, okay? Right? My guy, Zach, man. I love Zach. Tight end, man. I always loved him. He always does a great job. Always seems to get open. Yeah. Always seems to catch the football. Do y'all have a guy answer for Zach Ertz? Okay.
On defense?
On defense. Yeah. That's going to be able to cover him when he wants to stop him. Because he's crafty. We know what he's able to do to get open. You got McLaurin, Naimi Brown has been doing a good job. Catching the football too. He's been kind of coming up a little bit now. How do you defend a guy like a Jaden Daniels and then a Zach Ertz and Robinson does a good job out the backfield. Eckler also is coming in at the right time and is doing some things, man. They starting to look good on offense, man. So tell me, what do you do with a guy like Zach Ertz? Okay, what is y'all answer for you?
The pressure is going to be on Oren Burks. Because Nakobe Dean is hurt, and Nakobe Dean and Zach Bond, that duo has been phenomenal. We got Zach Bond off the pile from New Orleans, and I remember being one of the guys I do a pregame show with, Tone DeShields. We talked about Zach Bond when we got him, and I went back and looked at his tape, and I was like, he don't get many snaps, but when he's on the field, he makes things happen. He gets up here, gets his opportunity, and just blows up.
You can see that then.
He should be Defensive Player of the Year this year, without question.
Man, I didn't know he was like that.
Neither did I. I thought he was good, but nobody saw this coming.
Mm-mm.
He was down there in New Orleans, lost in the sauce. He had two guys in front of him with big contracts that were not playing bad.
Yeah.
So he was never going to really get any burn unless somebody got hurt. It was just one of those. When all y'all out there that's listening, when you hear former players talk about it was a numbers game, this is what we're talking about.
That's right.
He's a good player. He was a good player in New Orleans, but the guys in front of him were arguably a little bit better, and their contracts were bigger, so they had to play him. So he couldn't get no kind of burn but special teams. Howie took a chance on him. He was supposed to be a special teamer up here. But when you put, just like y'all got Spags, Vic Fangio is entering Jeff Stoutland territory. When Vic Fangio get his hands on players and defensive schemes, he makes stuff happen. And Zach Bond, listen, coaching matters. When you in the right place at the right time with the right people, your whole outlook can change. Your whole career can change. And I think that's what happened with Zach Bond. Vic Fangio figured out how to use him. Very similar to what happened with us with Hassan Reddick. When we first got Hassan Reddick, we kept dropping him back in coverage. When they finally put him on the line, let him put his hand in the dirt and come after that quarterback, he ended up with 22 sacks that year we went to the Super Bowl?
Sacks, man.
It was ridiculous. So it comes down to you don't have to put a square peg in a round hole. Just we doing the same thing right now with Bryce Huff. I know he got hurt, but we were killing Bryce Huff because he wasn't doing much. But when they started using him exclusively as a pass rusher, he started to pay dividends.
Yeah.
Stop trying to make him fit your system and let him do what he does best. That's been proven time and time again. So, but to your question, Oren Burks had to show up, and he had a pretty good game against LA. And he's going to have to do the same thing because I think the narrative of Austin Eckler and Robinson gets kind of lost because that is a problem.
Come on, man.
Austin,
I'm telling
when
you.
we beat them the first time, Austin Eckler was killing us, and they went away from him.
Mhm.
They were hitting us with the middle screens to him, and he was having a pretty good game running the ball off tackle. And Austin Eckler, I know he's getting up there in age, but he still got some burn left, and he's going to be a problem if we don't watch it. So I think our defensive game plan is going to come from Oren Burks and Zach Bond. Zach Bond has been as advertised. He's been balling.
Yeah.
But Oren Burks is coming in from Nakobe Dean, who was balling.
Yeah.
So first time he got in there, first time he getting reps, I understand. Then he gets a whole week's worth of reps with the ones, and he played a little bit better with LA. Now he's on the second week getting first team reps. So I expect him to be even better. But this is going to be a big challenge because now you got Austin Eckler, Brian Robinson, and you got Jay Daniels to deal with. So it's going to be Vic Fangio going to have his work cut out for him. However, when they beat us, I say we gave that game away. If Devontae Smith catches that ball, the game is over. But what we did, it goes back to what I said earlier about taking advantage of the opportunities when you get them. Devontae Smith drops that ball. We can't ice the game. They get one more opportunity, and Jaden Daniels made us pay for it. So,
man, but you know what? And it is about, like you said. I'm glad you kind of said it again about taking advantage of opportunities that you have, because this is what it's going to boil down to, especially playoff games, playoff teams in a championship game like this. You got to be able to protect the football. You have to. Anytime that you give the ball up, we all know that percentages of you winning the game goes down.
Okay? And we had 5 turnovers that game and still lost. 5.
Wow. I remember that, man. I remember that.
Yeah. He threw, I think we had 2 turnover on downs, a fumble, and 2 picks. So defense did a good job turning the ball over. The offense just couldn't get it together. That was when Jalen got hurt.
Well, I say this: the Ravens would have beat the Bills if they hadn't turned the ball over.
Exactly.
3 turnovers, drop passes. We don't need it. There's the game.
Same thing with Detroit.
Same thing with Detroit. And so we gotta make sure, okay, that the Chiefs protect the football. Going back to Patrick Mahomes and those guys, protect the football. Put it in the hands of the playmaker, okay? Open up holes so our running backs get through, okay? You said over 4.5 yards.
4 yards a carry. 4 yards a carry. That's all you need.
4 to 5. I think we was like 5 last time. We need to keep that going, but we need to run the ball more. A heavy dose of the running backs, okay? Hands of the playmakers, Worthy, D-Hop, Hollywood Brown, Travis Kelce, okay? Pop, Hunt got to get through. Hunt's got to be our guy. If Pop can't do it, I would start Hunt, then let Pop come in. I think they're, Thunder and Lightning, like, Ricky and what's his name used to be up there in Philly, Charlie Gardner.
Charlie Gardner, yeah.
Yes, sir. And then also, too, when we talk about defense-wise, what do you got to win, okay? It goes into who's going to cover the slot guy, the tight end, when you can. Get to Josh Allen, have a spy on him. You got to get him down, put hats on him, and make sure that you try to break that dude up. But I've said this, and I'm going to keep saying it again, over and over again. This game is going to be decided up front, okay? You watch how they fight in the trenches. Whoever wins that battle is going to win the game. I'm telling you right now. You're going to see it. So watch our offensive line. Joe Tooney, Mike Caliendo, Creed, Trey Smith, Juwan Taylor, those guys up front. Got to go get some meat, man. They got to open some holes. They got to go out there and roll grade the guys up front. Defensively, on that side, Chris Jones, Menahu, Dannon, FAU, Kalafkis, Pinnell, Nandi, Turk, whoever it is up front, man, you got to beat the offensive lineup. They want big guys up front. They love just blocking for Josh Allen. You bottle all that up, it's going to be a different game. Then the secondary, you got to cover, bring pressure. Linebackers play within the frame of what you need to do, you're going to be fine. We know that's going to happen. So, Marcus, I'm going to go to the last bit of this, okay?
Well, hold on. Before you move on,
go ahead.
I'm looking at the news right now. Buffalo Taylor Rapp, starting safety Taylor Rapp is day-to-day. He got a hip injury. And you got cornerback Christian Benford. He's in the protocol. He in concussion protocol. So there might be a situation where he might not even play. So it comes down to sometimes the best team don't always win, but the healthiest.
That's right. No, you're right.
So,
that's right. Rapp is he's the guy for him. If he's hurt, and he's look, we looking at him right now. What's that? I don't even want to do it. Jameis Winston, where you lick his fingers and stuff.
Yeah.
He'll eat these suckers' lunch up. That's how I look at it. So I'm gonna move to the third phase of the game. Okay, as a special teams coach, one thing I can always appreciate. Okay, is the special teams. Those are there's three phases of the game that you have to have: offense, defense, special teams.
Yep. Yeah,
we got
I get PTSD every time somebody bring that up because all I think about is that damn punt return in the Super Bowl. Oh, that doomed us, man. That doomed us.
Yeah. Well, we have a young guy, a young returner named Nico Remigio.
Yeah.
Okay. Who's been trying to get on the team for a long time, been practice squad, got kicked, off on, just kind of moving. He's finally gotten his opportunity and shot. He returned one for us last week, about a 65-yard or something like that. Ended up fumbling at the end, but he got a good return. But it helped juice us up. To be honest with you, Marcus, I don't know what we would have did if we didn't have it to begin with. Because the guys are coming off a little bit of the bye week. There was a little rush there where you could see it, right? Guys ain't playing as fast because you're not practicing, full speed. You can't simulate it. You can only play that. But he's a young guy that is excited, take chances, but he's a good returner for him. Now, Buckner also, too. Buckner, one of the, I say, best kickers in the league. Absolutely. No doubt about it. They talked about his knee because he had a little bit of work done to it. He's fine now. I think he's good to go. No problem about it. We will always defer to him if we need to go get points. Like you said, he's clutch. We always understand that. That's a good weapon to have when in the hip pocket. Yeah, let's go ahead and get him. Go ahead and get the points. So we've been doing a good job. Ariza, another punter. We call him the punt guy, right? And he kicked the ball. He gets deep. Thing is, you want to back them up into their territory. Let them drive the length of the field. Second, I say special teams is another one of those things that have to win for us. Field position, field goals from depth, from deep out.
Bro, what are these field goal kickers been drinking, bro? What the hell is in the water? Jake Elliott missing extra points. So to your point, little things matter. And when you miss 2 extra points,
yeah. I was nervous though. Look, he did good in the snow. Last game, they was moving. I didn't even know there was a rule that only the team out there could clear the field out.
I didn't realize that either.
I was like, oh wow, I didn't know that was a rule. So
it's important, man. It's important. And at the end of the day, everybody, you got what you got at this point. So because I know they call Jake Elliott Missy Elliott because he done missed a lot of field goals this year. I thought that was hilarious. But everybody's like, do we need to sign another kicker? Like, no, we don't need to sign another kicker. You got what you got. We gonna ride with Jake Elliott. He done missed, or he done made more than he's missed. So you got what you got. This is the thing that people don't realize.
Mm-hmm.
For players, you got 4, or in the case of Kansas City and Detroit, you got 4 one-game seasons for the playoffs. Mm-hmm. Whatever you did last week does not matter anymore. What we did with LA, you guys having the bye week, or the last time you faced Buffalo, it is irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
Because every game is its own season, and you better sell out right now, or you're going to be checking into that Cancun hotel like everybody else. So people want to get into what happened last time and this, that, and the other. We heard that all week. The Rams are a different team than when you faced them last time. They're going to have something for Saquon, whatever. You still got to get on the field and play the damn game.
Period.
So whatever you did before is irrelevant. You got to play the chess match, and you got to win this battle. You can't look ahead. You can't look back. You got to concentrate on this battle. That's it. So it doesn't matter. I laugh at it because what are the rankings now, and why are the Eagles at the bottom and the Chiefs are still at the top? It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Because at 3:00 and 8:00 on Sunday, they're gonna step on the field and we're gonna see what's what. Period.
Man,
Period.
Can you let everybody as players, none of us look at rankings.
None of us.
Yeah, we don't look at no rankings.
That shit is so irrelevant, it's not even funny.
Right. What? Like rankings, yeah, got your rank there. What? For real? Oh shit. Well, I tell you what's gonna happen. How about we gonna hit somebody in the mouth today? How about that?
That's
We're
it.
gonna rank that one. How about
The only thing players pay attention to is if you got some other player from another team talking shit. That's it.
Yeah.
If you got somebody spouting off, all right, because we can handle that on the field. Like the big thing was Jared Verse said what he said, but you know what? Respect to Jared Verse because he talked his talk and he walked that walk. He had a hell of a game. So respect, bro.
Hey,
talk your talk.
You got it. You got a partner. You got a player.
But at the end of the day, man, you got to step on that field. And I don't care what you think you're going to scheme up against Travis Kelce. Everybody else done said the same thing, and ain't nobody stopped them yet. I don't care. You can put 12 men in the box for Saquon. Ain't nobody stopped them yet.
Yeah.
So we call it smash mouth football for a reason. You know what I mean?
So I'm gonna tell you. So our brother that we played with, Mike Roth, was talking to Mike yesterday. Okay, Mike was sitting there saying like, "Man, JD, you know, he lives down there in Houston. He's a Texas fan. He's like, JD, how are they letting Travis Kelce get open?" I'm saying they ain't letting him get open. Travis Kelce getting open on his own. They double teaming it. They putting 2 or 3 guys in that area. Travis Kelce is getting open on his own.
Right.
I said he moved from one window to the next window to the next window. And guess what? Who knows that? Patrick. When they sitting over there looking at each other, he's like, I'm reading it exactly what you're thinking. I'm thinking the exact same thing.
Unspoken communication.
Come on, brother. We know it. We know it. And them jokers right there, man, they on the wavelength together that everybody is not a part of. Even Andy, those guys. Andy sitting there back like, I didn't think they was going to do that.
Yeah.
That wasn't even in our playbook. You know, and I like sometimes he was like, you know, we practice some of these things. Yeah, they practice it. You know, I know you sit there and like, yeah, okay, we'll take that. You know, just protect the football. You know, coaches are like, just make sure you're sure when you do it, right?
You can't stop. You can't stop a quarterback getting in the process of going down to the ground, getting sacked and throwing a touchdown. You can't practice that.
No, come on.
You either got it or you don't. They don't even do that on Madden, bro. Like,
no.
Like,
see, somebody saying over Madden ratings. Come on, man. Players, I mean, you look at Madden ratings, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
That's my boy Money Pot Betty. He's one of my friends. What's up, man? Yeah, he's a good dude.
Money Pot, man.
Nate. What's up, Nate?
Hey, what's going down with you? Good to see you out here on the show, man. But look, man, we ain't worried about that. All that matters is wins. We ain't, like you said, we're not looking ahead. You can't look ahead. Like I said, there is no tomorrow, Marcus.
Nah.
There's not a next step. Just go home. Hey, I'll get you later. None of that. If you don't understand what it is, you look at the video of Lamar Jackson, how he is just destroyed mentally, how much it weighed on him losing that game. And me and you both have been on bus rides, plane rides, and everything after a game.
Yeah.
You know, you're sitting there thinking, did I do everything I was supposed to do? I made mistakes. Like, dang, that lays on you. Doesn't it? Oh.
Yeah. Man, you know what? Brandon Ayuk. When we went to the Super Bowl in 22, when we beat San Francisco and we knocked Purdy out the game and all that kind of stuff. I had more respect for Brandon Ayuk because the week after that game, he put out a TikTok video or whatever. And he was complaining about the game. But ultimately he said, listen, man, I'm still in my feelings. I'm feeling some kind of way. But at the end of the day, they beat us and I'm at home on the couch watching them. So, and I was like, you know what? Respect, because that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
We still playing and you not, regardless of how it went down. Because if the situation was reversed, that like we was talking earlier about the calls and the penalties and stuff like that. If the situation was reversed, ain't nobody else complaining. Period. Right. So you got to take care of what you can take care of and you can't worry about nothing else.
You could sit there and cry over spilled milk all you want to. It's not going to change the outcome.
Nope.
Not going to let you come back and play like, yeah, okay, go ahead. It's not going to be that. You're going to sit there and you're going to watch, or you may not watch, and you can sulk in your disappointments if you like. Or you could go get back to work. And I know those guys get back to work as soon as possible, right? I mean, obviously you got to decompress and all those different things, but sometimes you got to go and the hunger hits you. But for the guys that's still in here, okay, the Chiefs and the Eagles, we understand what this thing is all about. And for the Chiefs, they're chasing a legacy. They're chasing history. And I know you said they were a new reiteration of New England.
Patriots. Yeah.
The Patriots. Yeah. But we trying to chart our own path here. We're trying to chart it to where the Patriots are secondary when they start talking about great teams of yesteryears. So when our kids and our grandchildren and everybody start talking about teams, I'm like, man, can you believe, man, the Chiefs were a dynasty. Them jokers was just absolutely amazing. There was no stopping Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce. I mean, you just start naming guys over and over like they do with New England, right?
Yeah.
Wow, Edelman, they bring Tom
and you know
Brady.
what's funny? Because this era of fan has such a short attention span.
Yeah.
Like, this era doesn't realize how bad the Patriots were and how long they were bad.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
So they don't have none of that. They just see Brady going forward. They just see Mahomes going forward, and they think it was always like that. And they don't understand back in the 80s and the 90s how bad it was for them and the complete turnaround in that situation. So they don't have any appreciation for that. You know what I mean? You still got people talking about the Cowboys. It's like the last Cowboys, championship tape is on VHS. Stop playing with me. Stop playing. So, I had to get a dig in there.
I know. It's good. That's good. Hey, look, I give Cowboy fans the business every chance I get.
Got to give them the business, bro.
Every chance I get. But that's true. That is true. And I always say, man, and it's here with some Chiefs fans, young Chiefs fans that don't understand that, the heartache and the pain you had to go through for the years you had to go through it. And I'm like, man, y'all need to respect the game a little bit more than what y'all do. I get y'all just coming, y'all late to the party. Y'all think the Chiefs is always like this. But the people that suffer through all of these losses and things for years, man, y'all better pay homage and some respect to those people, okay? And you better understand how y'all should be able to at least handle yourself when you deal with folks out here. That's why some of it, like, insufferable ones that you see that's out here. It didn't just start with Patrick Mahomes. Man, the reason the Chiefs are so lively with what they're doing right now is because there was a lot of losses during the years before then.
It was some lean years, man.
Yeah.
It was some lean years, man.
So, lived through it.
Absolutely.
So yeah, man. That's a great point, man. So what, man? Look, I tell you what. I know we've been talking, and I know I've been catching some of these over here on the side. Marcus does a great job of catching some of the talk and the conversation. I know we've been running our mouth a little bit. So I know everybody, y'all get a quick one out here, man. A good question from my brother Marcus for me. Please ask, okay? Real quick. So go ahead and throw it out here. But listen, we know what it is, okay? We're going to talk about it on Friday. Friday, Marcus, I do the 5 keys to victory on offense and defense, okay?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I'm going to bring some fire and some pain for us. And I'm going to be breathing some heavy dosage of getting ready. I'm going to bring everybody into the locker room. I do my little coaching session when I come in.
Yeah.
They understand I say it all with my chest, okay?
Say it out there.
Yes, sir. And I'm going to be ready. So when we come Sunday, everybody's going to be hot and lathered up. And I told you, every time we come into the game, you better get those pads ready to be popping like fish grease.
Yes,
so
sir.
We're going to make it hot out there,
sir.
And it ain't no tomorrow. So when you put everything out there, you put everything out there. It is all on the line. We are not waiting for anybody. We ain't looking for nobody to show up. Nobody's showing up for us. Nobody's coming in to give us a break. I don't care what they say about the refs and the refs helping and stuff like that. To hell with all of that. We don't give a damn about none of it. We don't. All we're worried about is getting that dub, getting that victory, and holding and making sure we're going to hold up, okay? AFC Championship trophy, we're going straight for that Lombardi. That's what we're going to do.
Figure out a way to get it done, man. I used to tell my kids when I was coaching, man, I used to say, all I need you to do is win this play. Don't worry about what you did before. Don't worry about what you're going to do next. All I need you to do is win this play. I need you to beat your man on this play.
That's it.
If everybody does that and we win more than we lose, then we have done something. And then after you win this play, rinse and repeat.
Keep stacking them. Keep stacking
Keep stacking, man. Keep the grind going, man. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
That's right.
And we at the end of it. We at the last leg of this relay,
the last
bro.
leg of it, man.
You got to lay it out on the line. And that's why I'm saying about Jalen Hurts. I know they're gonna shoot him up with God knows what. That boy ain't gonna need. He ain't gonna know if he got to go to the bathroom or not, bro. You know how that works. Get that knee ready, man. Because it's when to go home, and don't nobody want to go home.
Y'all gonna be like the old Jalen Hurts Rocky film. Cut me, Mick. Cut me. Cut me, Mick. You know, hey, that's what guys do. They don't care. Hey, they go ahead. Hey, man, tape it up. Rub some dirt on it. We coming out here to come play.
You know what's funny though, and this is big shout out to Saquon. As good of a game as he had. When I watched that film of that game, that was one of the worst performances from our offensive line all year. Our offensive line was god awful. In fact, I'm keeping it a buck. And I was like, Jeff Stoutland got to be getting in their ass this week because there was we gave up 2 touchdowns. AJ Brown missed a block on the goal line, and we ended up getting a tackle for a loss because he couldn't block the linebacker that was head up on him. We on goal line, bro. You gotta. What do they teach you when you block it? You can't let nobody cross your face.
Hey man, score with your man. That's what you do. Hey, score with your man. Don't let nobody cross your face. Score with your man. Okay.
It was
horrible.
It was horrible. Jared Verse got the best of Jordan Mailata, even got the best of Lane Johnson a couple times. Mekhi Becton, our guard, we got a 6'7" guard, bro. Mekhi Becton is he's bigger than Mailata. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know he's that.
I think he might be 6'8". Mailata, because I know Mailata's 6'8", but he is a 6'7", 6'8" guard, bro. We got him from the Jets, and Stoutland moved him to guard, and he has been paying dividends. However, in that game against LA, this joker, I don't know what he was on, but he was a turnstile all game. Then we had this one play, and this is when I get into like little things matter. He was pulling, and he overshot the hole. He came through the hole too wide, and the linebacker slipped right underneath him and made a tackle for a loss on the 1-yard line. Cost us a touchdown. Little stuff like that that you got to tighten up, and you got to get it together. Yeah. So I'm expecting our offense back to the original point, winning that line of scrimmage, winning in the trenches. I'm expecting our offensive line to be much better than they was against the Rams. And that type of performance is what's going to put us back in the Super Bowl.
There you go. And same thing with the Chiefs. Same thing with the Chiefs, man. Offensive line got to play spectacular. Whoever it is that lines up, whoever decides to put their shoulder pads on and put your chin strap up, we're going to go with you, okay, because we believe in you. And you got to win your battle. That's the way it works. This is the name of the game. And so you got to sit there and say, if I'm sitting over here in a phone booth for y'all young folks where phone booths were, that's where we used to get in the call a long time, So in a phone booth, somebody's going to come out. It's going to be me, Marcus. That's what I always said. Me and him going in, I'm going to come out. That's the way it's going to work. I'm going to ask this question real quick from Kansas City area youth Jazz. So how do KC linebackers and safeties get better in pass coverage, JD? So I'm going to say this. If you've been dealing with this all season, it's going to be an issue, right? Are you going to be able to get better? You could help out with technique. You could help them probably over the top. You could do a little bit of, getting down, maybe some lurk coverage. You can obviously, combination running, try to disguise what you do. But it's going to be on a man. That's what's got to be able to happen. We got to be able to get to the quarterback so they don't expose us. But we would look for basically our best linebacker in coverage, who is tranquil, to do the coverage. And we also look for, like I said, Trip McDuffie to be the nickel guy to come in as opposed to the safeties like Connors and all those guys to cover the slot. That's the way it's got to work. But it only happens when everybody understands what they're doing, Marcus. Where you go, you got to communicate. And that's been part of our problem is not the communication is maybe come down. You got to recognize exactly what's going on. So if you have this guy, you got to recognize you got to drive on the slant, you got to drive on the hook. Those things have to happen. You can't be late with it.
And I was gonna say that film study. You got to know where you're supposed to be, and you got to. And let's be realistic. At some point in time, they're gonna get beat. Period, because the other guys get paid too. So, but what you want to do is limit those mistakes and limit the big plays, limit the splash plays.
Yeah,
they're gonna get you eventually. Eventually, somebody gonna get one off.
That's right.
Because that's the chess match of the game. But you just got to limit those splash plays. And when you have the opportunity to make a play, you must make the play, make the tackle, get the sack. You got to finish it. That's how you win them games. Defense wins championships.
That's right. So, Marcus, this one's for you. Dane asks, says, Marcus, do you think Kareem has earned a spot as starting running back and Chiefs signing him for next year? So I'm going to leave this. This is up to you. Outside looking in. Okay. All right.
How old is he?
Kareem's probably right around 29, 28, but he don't have a whole lot of what's the name of the miles on his legs because remember he was up there behind Chubb for a few years. Let me see how old Kareem is.
Let me see what he's looking like, man. How many
29. You're 29.
Okay. So he's almost 30.
He's almost 30, but behind Chubb for at least, what was those, 40 years? 5? Let me see how many, shoot. Keep forgetting, man. He was gone for a minute. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He's 6 years up there with Chubb.
You talking about 200 rushes, 728 yards, 7 TDs. I'm not sure what his receptions were, but he gave you solid burn. He gave you solid minutes. 3.6 yards a carry. You're not going. I mean, to me, this comes back as a. This is going to be all about the money. Does he want to stay around? Probably yes, because this is a team you want to stay with because they are always going to have an opportunity to go to the big game. So yes, he is going to want to stay. They would probably keep him around if the money is right. They're not going to give him no. I don't see them giving him a 3-year deal or something like that. Is there somebody in the draft that they're looking at? I don't know, but he a good veteran.
Yeah.
Good in the locker room. He's been around. He knows what it takes to be successful. So I can see if the price is right, I can see them keeping him. But it would all depend on he might still be trying to get a bag. And somebody else might want to throw him more money. So he might make that decision. I don't know. It all depends on how it plays out. But I think he's a good back. It can't hurt you keeping him.
Right. Never. Matter of fact, he came in when Pacheco got hurt, man, and he was really the one saved us. Absolutely. So
absolutely. So I would think that is the team going to be loyal or are they going to get younger? That's a valid question. And I don't think there's not a wrong. The only way it's not the right move is if you keep him and he gets hurt. That's the only way it's not the right move. Or unless he just falls off a cliff with the talent. That's a possibility, but I don't see it happening.
Well, we still got Pac under contract. Pac is still here. And the thing is, I think they're a good 1-2 punch. However you look at it, whoever 1-2 is, right? And so when you have a solid backfield like that, well, why not go ahead and keep riding the hand? Especially, we didn't have Kareem Hunt during training camp either. That's another thing, right? I mean, he wasn't there for training camp.
Yeah, so we had fresh legs.
Yeah, so the thing is, he had to jump back in the fray real quick and get ready. He came out, he did well, but you could tell, man, it was like training camp to him. You know how in training camp, you're like, oh my gosh, okay. Yeah. And then your body just starts getting better. this right here, what we see from Kareem Hunt in the playoffs, is that guy now getting better. He got used to the hits. He's gotten used to those things. And now this is where he does damage.
I would think that it's on his decision on what he wants to do. Because here's the thing that's interesting. You know, Derrick Henry and Saquon have pretty much reinvigorated the running back game. Big shout out to Joe Mixon because he did too.
Yeah. Shout out to all them guys, man. They got the shaft. I'm sorry. Let me say this, man. Running backs got a shaft this past signings that they were doing, man. These contracts that it was absolutely atrocious how they did them. And then all of a sudden you give some of these quarterbacks $50-something million, sucker can't even finish a whole season, but also too throwing picks left to right and doo-dooing in the bed. That's what coach would say. Don't doo-doo in the bed. Like, what are you talking? And this is what he's talking about. You
I think it's
and falling on things like that.
I think it's an interesting shift at both quarterback and at running back because you got the two best running backs in the league, Derrick Henry and Saquon Barkley. Derrick Henry's 29, and Saquon is what, 26, 27, I think. So you're not talking about young players anymore. I think Saquon is still in his prime, and even King Henry at 29, about to be 30, is still at his prime. So I think they reinvigorated the market, but ultimately what it comes down to, does Kareem Hunt want to win or does he want the bag? That's what it comes down to. You saw that same situation when we had Miles Sanders a couple years ago.
Yep.
He got his bag down in Carolina. He ain't sniffed winning.
It ain't seen since. I ain't seen. Well, I'm like, where's Miles Sanders at?
He got hurt, but that's the gamble you take. And it's interesting how some of these people, we was talking about D-Hop, I believe, didn't we have D-Hop last year with the Eagles? So
who DeAndre Hopkins?
Did we have DeAndre Hopkins? Who did we
He
have last year?
Yeah, Tennessee. Who did y'all have? Who did y'all get?
We got an older receiver, and I can't remember who it was. But in any case,
y'all got what's the Julio? Julio came in.
Julio Jones. Thank you. Thank you. You're right. But
Julio, he's my age.
So what do these players want to do? Do they want to win or do they want to get the bag? Prime example, Tyreek Hill, the cheetah, he got his bag.
Yep.
He ain't sniffing the playoffs. He made his choice.
Yeah.
And now he living with it. So, the grass might be greener on the other side, but it still got to be mowed. So you take that chance if you want to. And I think it's interesting now because now Kansas City is a destination team. Yes. Philadelphia is a destination team.
Absolutely.
So
I agree with you.
You got all of these vets coming through because they got their last shot at trying to get a ring. That's their last shot. So it'll be what I think Kansas City should do is they're going to pay, they're going to offer Kareem Hunt a contract for decent money, not even good. It'll be decent. And it'll be up to him. It's like, okay, see if you can get more somewhere else. If he does, he'll sign somewhere else. If he doesn't, he'll probably stay with Kansas City. And he's going to probably have to fight for a job when they bring in a couple of young bucks off the free agency wire, from some mid-majors. And because they're not going to draft a running back.
No, shoot, no.
So, so he's in an interesting situation. I think he would be smart to stay. Because if go to where the food is good. Stay where you are. Everybody knows you. You don't have to.
Well, we drafted him. This is home for him. And the thing is, because of the whole situation that happened with him, this was the reason that the Chiefs got rid of him. They had to let him go. And that's why he went to Cleveland. Now he's back home. So there is a sense of loyalty. There is a sense of belonging. There's a sense there that's saying, like, look, bygones be bygones. Hey, man, welcome home. Okay, prodigal son's return. Appreciate you. We could kind of take care of it. We'll see what that looks like.
Plus, your starter can't stay healthy.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's the biggest question mark because there is something to be said. You can probably find better players, better running backs than Kareem Hunt, but you're not going to find another one that's plug and play.
No.
You ain't got to teach him the offense. You ain't got to dumb down your playbook. He knows what he's supposed to do. That's the benefit that comes with the age. He knows what to do. So you can stick him in there. You ain't got to shorten up nothing. You ain't got to it's not like you can't run this play. He knows the playbook. That's the benefit of a Kareem Hunt. That's the juxtaposition of it. Do you want the young guy? He's still learning. He's still raw, wet behind the ears. Now you got a seasoned vet. He knows the offense. He knows what to do. And it's another plug and play piece that's a veteran and knows what it takes to win. So,
yeah, no, I agree with you, man. And I'm looking for 2-9, man, Kareem Hunt to have a big game this week. So, man, listen, I've been out here, man. We've been out here, man, running our mouth, just having a good time talking ball like we always do.
We always do, bro.
That's right. That's right. So tomorrow, man, I'm gonna be on your show. I'm gonna come on your show tomorrow. We're gonna talk a little bit more about this. Keep running our mouth a little bit more. But I just want to. So everybody, Marcus Thomas, Pro Fan Talk. You see it right there. Go and check him out. Like you've heard his analysis on everything, man. You're talking to a real NFL football player, real NFL football running back that knows the game, has been there, has done it at a high level. One of the best running backs that I have ever seen. And
6.7 yards a carry for a career. I could tote that rock, y'all.
Better talk to him. Talk to him, Marcus. You don't quite know. If you don't know, you better recognize.
But
my brother, listen, man, I appreciate you so much for coming in
sir.
And joining us tonight, but being part of this and filling in for the other Marcus as well. But, man, I've enjoyed this. So hopefully, Marcus, Super Bowl, and I think so, that we're going to meet up again talking, because we need to talk again and get this thing together. So my thing is, brother, listen, hey, good luck for the Eagles. I will see you tomorrow, but appreciate it, man. Everybody here on the chat, man, thank you so much for coming in, giving Marcus all of your good questions and answers. I'm glad we've been talking. I don't know if we get to address a lot of it, but we appreciate it. Go show him some love. Go be a part of Pro Fan Talk. Okay, you don't always have to just stay with the Chiefs. Pro Fan Talk from guys that know what they're talking about. Go follow him. Go check him out. Hey, this is what this thing is, man.
Yes,
Mark,
sir.
you got some words, man, you want to talk to say people a little bit about you, or
Hey, man, I've been doing this for a while. We just hit. I just hit a little over 5,000 subs now. I think I'm almost at 50. I'm at 5,700 subs right now. We're still trying to grow. So I just keep grinding, man, grinding and growing every day, talking about football. I got about 2 weeks left of football. Then I'm jumping into the WNBA. Then I'm jumping into NCAA women's ball. Keep it moving. Yes, I'm a big Caitlin Clark fan.
Okay, yeah.
So, but you know what? This is what I got to tell people. I am an Indiana Fever fan because of Kelsey Mitchell. And I don't know if you realize or not, Kelsey Mitchell's father is Mark Mitchell, who went to Eastern Kentucky.
Oh, that's right. Did you tell me that before?
Yeah, Mark Mitchell he used to come back for homecoming and DJ and all of that kind of stuff. Yeah, he's the one that pledged me at Alpha, all of that. Right, Mark Mitchell, yes. So so he had twin girls, Kelsey and Chelsea. They went to O State. Chelsea busted up her knee, but Kelsey kept playing, and she became what she became with the Fever and did all that things last year with Caitlin Clark. So I watched Caitlin Clark, but the reason I started watching the WNBA and specifically Indiana was because of Kelsey Mitchell, man. There's always a connection to Eastern Kentucky and from home, bro.
That's right.
So,
okay.
Always all good, brother.
I got it. Okay. I knew it was Mark Mitchell's daughter. I remember you think after you said that, I was like, okay. I did hear that before. Okay. Good shout out, man, right there. Good shout out, man. So look, we're EKU proud. It's a matter of pride. We're just talking about that. That's our motto, EKU. It's a matter of pride.
Matter of pride, baby. Go Big E.
That's right. That's right. Listen, folks, fam, ladies, gents, boys, and girls, thank you for your time coming out here engaging with us tonight. Listen, I know on Friday, do not forget the keys to victory, and we're going to be doing our betting show as well. And so when I come out on Friday, be present, okay? Be available. So I'm going to have some things for you.
You going to bring it?
I'm going to bring it. Bring it, man. So you better be ready.
Playbook, boy.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You got to latch into your seats, man, because I'm taking y'all for a ride on Friday for sure. But Marcus, my brother, listen, man, I love you. I love you. I'm gonna say bye to everybody out here on the chat, man. Everybody
Appreciate the
showed
chat.
up.
Chat was on fire tonight, man.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were, man. I hope everybody seen it. We went on live also on Twitter and stuff like that. And just for Marcus Dash, my brother, get well, get you some soup, some chicken noodle soup, things like that. Boost up your immune system, man. Get back in the game. We're gonna need you. We like it. We appreciate it. But look, Don Peterson, Witchy Hall, Dane, Chiefs fan 211, JH, Sasha. Good to see you, Sasha. Demetrio Spence, Don Peterson. Good seeing like always. I see Illy Beeman was in here. Big Meat 260. Appreciate you, my brother. Good to see you. My barbershop, my guy. I think barbershop, I say this. He must play some ball before. AB, good to see you, my man. Dane, I know said it, man. Appreciate it. Kansas City area youth jazz. Thank you so much. Let me see who else we got here. Alex Boomkamp. Good to see you, Alex, as well. Let me see who else we have. You know, when the chat start moving, it's hard to get this, man.
Yeah, man.
But thank you, Flapjack City, for the donation, my brother. Appreciate you so much. Thank you so much for that. Who else we had in here? We had Andrea was in here. Remember to pray for Andrea and her family in the tragic loss of her niece. But you know, just put your prayers and thoughts toward her. She needs hugs and love, man, and just support. And we know y'all do a great job over here on Chiefs Concerns, man, because we are family. We love y'all and we love her. So, Andrea, thoughts and our prayers are with you. Janet Pirate, thank you so much for that donation. Del Monte Green Beans, my guy, appreciate it. Del Monte Green Beans. Delia Seguero, appreciate it so much. Optimistic James, good to see you in here. Sweetie, my baby. Marcus, she said, tell Marcus that I call out all the field goals when they missed it. And she does. She does a good job. I don't know how she sees it. She's like, oh, he's going to miss it. I'm like, no, he's not. Why are you seeing? And sure enough, they shake it to the side. So she says it all the time, Marcus. She wanted me to tell you that. Enrique Trillo, thank you, sir. Terry Custer, thank you. Ken Hornbuckle. Mike Brennan, good seeing you as well. Eric Davis, good seeing my guy in here. Let me see. Stuart Salzman, my brother, down there in Clearwater. Ray028, Kevin, good seeing you. Let me see who else we got in here. Chris Pomay, Eagles guy, right here. Chris Pomay, he does a show too, Marcus.
Go Birds.
Yeah.
Hit me up, bro. Hit me up. Let's talk.
Hit him
Let's
up.
talk. Hit me
me
up.
right there, Chris. You see it right there, man. Okay. Crispy is there in the house. Good seeing you. Anthony Solis as well. Let me see who else we got in here. Man, Charles Driver, Nani Sherry. Good seeing Witchy Hall, like I say, Lane Julian. Chief Easy 3 Pete. Sam McBride. Greg Rose, I think I said Hippie, Cyprite, Cyprate, whatever you say, how you go. Leg of my ego, KC Colossus. Listen, y'all know what it is. If I didn't get to say hi to you all, I appreciate you all for coming out, engaging with us. Thank you so much for it. Marcus, my brother, love you, man. I will see you tomorrow.
Love you back, brother.
You and get out there, man, and talking about some more of these Chiefs and what they need to do and some of the Eagles, obviously, on your show as well. Look, we're here to do it. We know what we had to do. You've gotten some of the blueprint on how to do those things to make this win happen. Win up front, eliminate the turnovers, and take care of business. All right?
Yes, sir.
With that, hey, y'all take care. God bless. We will see y'all on Friday. We'll see you on Friday, man. Love you guys. Marcus, love you, man. We will see y'all later. All right?
Go Birds.
Take care.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.